Hello, friends. Chris Corsi here, president of Thrive Today, and I want to welcome you to the Relational Skills in Real Life podcast. Friends, today's topic is a rich subject. The topic that we're focusing on today is what we call Skill 10 Nonverbal Stories. That's right, nonverbal stories. And you might be wondering, why is this skill of not telling nonverbal stories one of the 19 skills? Well, friends, this particular skill touches every single interaction we'll ever have, whether it's face-to-face interactions, texting with a friend, making video calls. Your brain is using skills that are trained and fashioned and tuned in every time you practice telling nonverbal stories. So, friends, your brain puts a whole lot of weight on what's not being said. That's right. How people carry themselves, how people convey what they're thinking or feeling through their face, through their voice, through their mannerisms and gestures, how they move their body in space, eye contact. You know what? About roughly 30% of adult communication involves words. That's right. So, what that means is there's a lot that's not being said. And are you picking up on that 70% of what's not being said with words? You see, if you've ever played charades, you know the power of telling nonverbal stories. Charades is a game where you try to tell a story or act something out, and people have to interpret what you're trying to convey. And some of us are really good at playing charades. Some of us are really good at understanding minds and understanding the story that's being told. Some of us, not so good. So the good news is no matter where you fall on this shade or the spectrum of this particular skill, the good news is we can all improve our skills. We can train our ability to understand minds. We can train our ability to use what we call our mind sight skills. You see, mind sight is a theory of mind, which involves learning to interpret faces to better understand minds. That's right. So we use mind sight when you look at your friend and you know something's wrong because something's different about your friend and how your friend's carrying her face, her body, her voice. Like you can tell something's going on here. I might not know what the problem is, but I know that something is wrong. So we use mind sight skills to understand the minds behind the faces. So what's happening in someone's shoes? We use this mind sight skill. And you know what? There's an exercise my family likes to do at the dinner table. And the exercise is telling a nonverbal story from your day. That's right. So you have to tell a story without words about something from your day. And the table guests have to guess what is it that you're saying or sharing from your day here. And we can guess out loud, make those educated guesses about, oh, wait, you're talking about when you're driving home from school and this happened and then this happened, right? You're interpreting the gestures, the movements, the facial responses, and so forth, in order to have a coherent story or coherent narrative about what somebody's trying to say here. So we use these mind sight skills to connect at a deeper level. And mind sights, basically where we're trying to understand the mind so that we feel seen, heard, and understood. In fact, mind sight skills and the theory of mind is part of where we get this intention. We understand the intention of people. So if you say something or do something hurtful, one of the things that I will do is look at your face and I'm trying to determine, did you intend to hurt my feelings? Did you intend to step on my foot? Did you mean to do this? So I am looking at your face to try to understand whether you did this on purpose. And this is what children will do when they play, right? They will monitor faces. They'll monitor how others are doing. And when somebody gets hurt, first thing they do is look at the face. Did you mean to hurt me? In other words, are you sad that I'm hurting, or are you happy that I'm hurting? And so this is a very important part of how we connect and how we share pain. Are you enjoying my suffering? That's what we're trying to determine here. And so the skills that are grown and nurtured from telling nonverbal stories really are foundational for good and strong emotional and mental health. And one of the byproducts of unprocessed pain and unresolved pain in our lives is that our mind sight skills may be poorly trained. They may have some difficulty. So we have a difficult time giving people a benefit of the doubt when I feel hurt. So if my mind sight skills are not fully trained, then it's hard for me to it's hard for me to understand your mind, but it's also hard for me to give you the benefit of the doubt because past pain is sneaking into the present, disrupting my ability to understand your mind. And so what that means is people will understand other minds based on the context of their pain, right? And so we will have a difficult time really understanding the motives of other people. Like, are you really glad that I'm here? Because usually people aren't glad that I'm here, right? We're trying to practice some mind sight here. And really, so how well we attune with other people is highly influenced by the nonverbal responses that people see in us. And so, how well we attune will be based on this training. And that's really why I want my sons to practice this skill regularly, because I want them to be really good at understanding minds and being able to tune in to what's happening in themselves, but what's happening in other people. And children with ADHD often will have difficulty with this ability to understand minds. They'll have some deficits in trying to understand motives and interpreting emotions. And people on the autism spectrum disorder as well will have difficulty with these skills, particularly when it comes to social interaction, social communication with other people. So these are valuable skills. This is why skill 10 is woven throughout our Thrive training week. We do lots of versions and lots of variations of these exercises. In fact, one of my favorite exercises between track 2 and track 3 people involves track 2 people telling a story. And this is a story that they used earlier in the week about some difficulty that they've had to navigate. And the track 3 trainers are going to practice their skills. So after they hear the story from the track 2 person, then what they will do is they will tell the story back non-verbally, and then they will help diagnose the level of pain and some of the emotions that they hear in this story. This is an impactful exercise. And I love the feedback from our track 2 people, because after telling their stories, they're using words, they're watching their story being told back to them non-verbally. It is a deeply impactful exercise. And it takes a lot of training and it takes a lot of skill to be able to pull that off. So friends, nonverbal stories are such a key ingredient to how well we can hold on to the good stuff, grow the good stuff in our own lives, and share the good stuff with other people. So I want to encourage you to add nonverbal stories to increase your emotional intelligence, to be present with other people, to connect at a deeper level, and to be able to have some fun and build some joy. The goal here is not to take yourself too serious. Just have fun. But try to tell those nonverbal stories. And you can learn more about Skill 10 at our website, thrivetoday.org. We have a whole page on this skill. And you join us at one of our Thrive trainings. You'll get a lot of practice with this skill. So have fun, live in your face, use your voice, use your mannerisms and your gestures to grow the good stuff and spread the good stuff.